Alright, continuing with from our last video where we exported equipment information from our old CMMS database in order to then therefore upload it and import it into our new database. And so that was on the previous video. This video I'm going to show you how to actually import that. In the meantime, please subscribe to my channel and please like it. I've just started it, but I would really like for it to become I think it would just be a great help to a lot of people in this scenario. So with no further ado, in our particular software you will see that in Fix, F-I-I-X, you will see that there in the settings there's an import area, and it shows you the things that you can import. And so if I'm doing equipment, it's going to be my assets. So here you'll see what it's requiring. Now you may be asking, well, why don't I just upload this folder here or this file here as is? Because it doesn't, it's not the same template, it's not the same understanding, so you might find yourself in some turmoil, like as you start uploading and trying to name and title things. So it's easier, I think, and the best way to do that is to take your time and get their template and then take yours, kind of mesh the two together so you know what you're doing, okay? So you'll know what's going up. So if you'll notice here, you see all this information down here with these commas in between all these different words and stuff that almost looks like gibberish. What that actually is their comma separated variable information. And what I mean by that is I have to take that information and create a template with it in order to put my equipment in there. That might have sounded kind of confusing, but basically it's like I want to take basic information and make it where Excel can read it. And the way that you do that is by putting commas between everything. And that's why it's called comma separated variables. But let me just show you quickly how to do it. Alright, if you don't care about all that, just show me how. This is how you do it. You copy all that information, alright, and then you go to Notepad. You paste it into Notepad, alright. File, save as, not save, save as, okay. And what you want to save this as, what I would do, because this is my equipment 53 numbers, I would save it as 53. All right, I've already done it once, but I would go to all files so that I can change the end of it. 53. All right, dot C or CSV. All right, and when I do that, I'm going to replace it. Yes. Okay, so I just replaced it because I've already done this once. I'm just showing you how to do it again. So now I don't need this notepad thing anymore. And you'll notice here is my 53.csv. All right. This here, okay, is this template here, but in Excel form. So when I double click this open, you'll see that, boom, here we go. This is, so by double clicking on these lines, again, I don't want to take anything for granted, but by double clicking on these lines in between, you can then see like everything in there. This is what we would call their default template for equipment. All right. Now a lot of these things you might not use. I don't use half of these departments and stuff, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, this is what you have. So the asset code, asset name. All right. So for example, asset code can mean a couple of things, but let me open up my, remember the one I downloaded? Here's the one from my old software that has my equipment in it, okay? So what I'd like to be able to do is, okay, change this to where it fits this. You can do it either way. You can either put this information over here or this information over here, but what's important is that you use these headers, okay? So in our old software, this was called equipment number, all right? So what I want to call this is asset code. Why am I doing that? Because that's what the new software is going to be looking for. It's looking for an asset code. All right. And if I have enough time, I'll show you how to barcode that as well, if you're going to be using that. Now this is equipment type over here for like category equipment. I'm thinking I would probably leave, let's see, RAM, PC. I don't know if I even use that as of yet. Okay, under description, all right, notice they have here asset name and asset description. In our case, the asset name and description is pretty much the same thing. It's not like, because all of our equipment that we use, well, not all of it, most of it, is fabricated for like this site. It's indigenous to us, and you probably have a lot of equipment like that as well. Now, if you have like, you know, just equipment like, I don't know, like a drill press or something like, you know, any type of equipment, maybe you have little carts that run around the place, equipment that you actually purchased that has from another company, that has an actual name and has an actual code and has an actual description, then of course put that in there. But for our case, that doesn't really work for us. So what I do is, for see where it says description here, and here it says asset description, I'm just going to add the term, it's just to save from confusion in the future, asset description. All right. And also, but see, I want to make this also the asset name. So I will copy this entire column. I'm going to paste it right here, exactly like it was, except up here, I'm going to put asset name. You see that? Again, if this were like, I'm looking out in the shop there, let's say this was a big bandsaw piece of equipment, then the asset code would be maybe the model or whatever, or just, I don't know what we call it in the computer maybe, but equipment type, it'd be like, you know, saw. Asset description, I would say like large bandsaw with maybe the size of the blade or whatever on it, as to describe what it is, then the actual name, and it might be I don't know, like a DeWalt bandsaw. I don't know. Just, you understand what I'm saying. Anyhow, so I've done that. Everything else on here, let's see, asset description, make, model. All right. Bin number, row number. I really don't need any of that stuff for what I'm showing you, calibration. So I don't need any of that. I actually want to go ahead and close that out. I don't want to save that. So this is my my upload file now. Equipment type is not going to be on there, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. The line that it's on, that's not going to work anyway. I'm going to delete that. Location, you can use that, but I'm not. Delete. That's our okay, so this is basically all that I need right now. The name of the equipment and the asset number. So now I'm going to save this, or export it, save it, whatever, and change the file type, CSV, however you want to do it. Save as. Back to my desktop. I'm going to save it as the 53.csv, which was, of course, the original template. So I'm going to save over that. You don't have to, you can do whatever you want, but so I've got it. Oh, I can't do that because it's on my picture there. Yeah, I do want to replace it. So now that's done. Yep, it'll ask if I want to make it a CSV, and I do. Don't save. Okay, so all I would do now is I would take that file, and I'm going to put it into here. Oh, really? Upload. I wanted to ask me for the there it is. Okay. Desktop. That's where that was. 53. There it is. Open. All right, so default asset category. All right, it's just going to be equipment. All of our equipment's in that one category. Locations and facilities. I would do it by plants or whatever. Not just locations and facilities, because you can always go back and change those. And because the defined field mappings, asset code, asset description, asset name, see, they match now, so I don't have to worry about this part of the upload. It's not that big a deal with 3 things, but some of the things you'll upload might have 10, 15 fields in them, and you just don't want to get those confused, especially when it comes to dates and times and all kinds of stuff. So just trust me on that. So anyway, I will hit continue. I'm not going to do that now because I already have these assets in it, but you hit continue, it's going to upload those, and it's going to tell, well, let's just see what it does. Let's see what it does when I hit continue, just so you'll see it. All right, so it says a record with asset code 5300, asset name, price, strip, blah 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 already exists. What would you like to do? And I'm going to say skip it. Okay, you will say go ahead and insert it or whatever. All right, so but I'm going to skip everything that I already have in there, because I want that. So total records to create 56. So it's throwing mine for a loop because I've already done all this. So I'm not going to do that, but you would go ahead and import. And then what would happen is when you went to your assets here, for me, if I go in here and I look for 53 dash, you'll see all my 53s come up down here. See these? All right, there's our 53s. And so, like for example, if I go back to the very first one that went in, 53 dash, let's just do this 01. And that's the thing about the cloud-based software. It does take some time. HDD distributor 1 right there, 5301, and it's HD distributor. If I want a barcode in there, I can just put 53-1. That's if you want to put barcodes on your stuff, or QR codes. When I save that, you'll see the barcode appear. If you want to use them, you don't have to. There it is. There's the barcode. So that's it for that. That's pretty basic. There's some little, other tips and tricks I can show you in later videos, but that's the basics of your importing your tables into your new software.